In this video you're about to watch, we're going to look at tennis trading on Betfair and how you can turn losing trades into winning trades. Yes, you heard that correctly. It's perfectly possible in tennis trading, and I will be showing you how right now. And that is without taking any silly risks using confusing recovery methods, doubling up, tripling up, or anything like that. This is a video many have requested, and it might just blow your mind. Go grab a nice cold beer or an old-fashioned and let's get into it. So there are two types of tennis traders in this world, the 2D and the 3D tennis trader. Now, if you're new to tennis trading, you're probably in the 2D bracket where you get involved in a trade, the price moves negatively against you, so you lock in your loss. Nothing really wrong with that when you are a beginner. It is a good way to start, but a more advanced three-dimensional tennis trader would look at it differently. The price moves negatively. They're not looking to lock in a loss. They're looking for ways to eliminate the loss. And I'm going to explain exactly how that's done, along with some real-life demonstrations in this video right now. So before I get into it, I would really love if you could click or even smash the like button to support the channel. It helps us to keep going, and it helps you to get similar videos in future. Remember, these videos take a lot of time and research to make. They're available for free on YouTube, and just one click of the like button can go a long way for us. Many thanks in advance. So let me bring up a fairly typical price chart from a football market. And if you've ever traded football, this probably looks pretty familiar to you. And you know that the price moves that can happen when a goal is scored can be pretty brutal. Now, brutal as in they can be great when they're in your favor, but when they go against you, there's usually little to no options available to help you avoid or even try and minimize the loss when that happens. For example, in this chart, if we back this team at 3.75 and the goal is scored and it goes into those short odds, that's great. That's a great trade. But the other way around, laying this team at 3.75 and then it smashes into those low odds, well, we're going to need that team, the losing team, to score an equalizer to get us out of the hole. So that's not great. Now, if we bring up a fairly typical price chart from a tennis market, you can see the difference right here. These markets are a lot more forgiving. Even if a price moves against you, there's a good chance it's going to swing back in your favor later on with just the natural ebb and flow of the match, especially in women's matches where there's lots and lots of breaks of serve. And a chart like this is very common. So in a similar situation, let's say we had laid this player at 1.75, price went down to 1.25. Well, it didn't take too long for it to go back up to 1.75, and then maybe we could have got out. But of course, obviously, we're trying to make a profit. And if I just zoom in on this chart a little bit more, now, if we just look at this chart on its own, it does make tennis trading look easy in hindsight, right? It means that we could back at 1.75, lay at 1.25, keep repeating that over and over again, and then probably get rich. Well, that is great if you know how to predict the future or you have a DeLorean. But when you're in the trade itself, it's obviously impossible to know where these prices are going to go and whether the top or the bottom of the price has been reached. I mean, what if we were to enter the market, lay in this player at 1.5? Okay, in an ideal world, yeah, we're getting in at 1.75, but what do we do if we've got in at 1.5? So therefore, you have to do something that they call dollar cost averaging. Okay, dollar cost averaging. And what you're going to see on the screen now is the definition taken from Investopedia, if you want to kind of squint and take a look at that. But the main sentence here is: an investor divides up the total amount to be invested across periodic purchases of a target asset, okay, in order to reduce the impact of volatility on the overall purchase. Now, applying that to tennis trading, it basically means we're going to be splitting our stake up and then entering the market at opportune times. So it could be that we're just splitting our stake up into two. So if we want to lay a player, we would lay them at with 50% of our stake at certain odds, and then if their odds continue to go down, we could lay the other 50% at even lower odds, or you could split this into 3 parts or 4 parts or whatever. It all depends on your strategy. But the main point is that we're not putting our full stake immediately into the market and then crossing our fingers and hoping for the best. We're going to be flexible and we're going to take advantage of that volatility. And that's basically the idea. Take advantage of the short-term volatility in order to try and minimize our losses. Okay. And by doing this, if we do start to go into a losing position on our trade, we can basically take advantage of the volatility to do some mini trades, which will lower our overall exposure in the market. And I do have some live demonstrations coming up, so this is going to explain it a lot better than the words on the screen. But the first thing I want to let you know about this approach, the most important thing to keep in mind when you're doing this is have a plan. If you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. So basically, if you are entering the trade planning to split your stake up into 2, then stick to that. If you're planning to stick it up to split it up into 4, then stick to that as well. Okay. This approach becomes a problem and a little bit reckless when people think that, you know what, let me just throw in an extra stake, an extra one, and really try and chase and eliminate that loss. But actually, they end up digging themselves deeper into the hole. You should always have your entry point and your exit point planned out in advance, because what I see a lot of people go wrong with, they have a plan for when a trade goes right, but no clue when it goes wrong. So another quick tip I can just give you is that before you enter the trade, say out loud what you're going to do if the trade moves against you, and just shout it out into the world, and then you're more likely to stick to that plan. And you're actually going to see me do similar in these real life examples that we're going to dive into right now. But I do just want to stress that currently the doors are opening to the premium course, Ultimate Tennis Trading. And as I upload this video, there are some spots available, but the doors will slam shut at midnight on Friday for the summer. This is the first time we've opened in 4 months. So if you were someone who missed out last time, then here is your chance. If this is totally new to you, then do not miss out. Okay. Click the link in the description, submit your very best email address to get the invite and to get more details about it. But just keep in mind, you do get the 5 strategies which show you how to trade the sport in full, and also the risk mitigation method, which is a full step-by-step approach of what you're going to see demonstrated today. So if you do like the look of what you see in this video, then you should love the full course. If you're even the slightest bit interested, click the link in the description, submit your very best email address. If there are spots available, you will get an email reply within 24 hours. If not, you'll be added to the waiting list for the next opening. Okay. And for those who are really quick, you have to be first in line for the early bird coupons, which will give you the biggest possible discount on this. They have actually almost run out as I upload this video. So if you do want one of those, click the link below to submit your email address straight away. Quite a lot have already opted in for this, so I don't think there will be that many more left. But try your luck either way. If you're very quick, you should get one of those too. But anyway, let's dive into these real life demonstrations, as you'll see some tennis trades that I did which didn't quite go to plan, but you'll see how I reacted in order to try and minimize the loss, or sometimes turn that loss into a profit. Check it out. This should be very fun for you to watch. So we're going to get involved laying this player here, Rindenech, who is currently just on advantage. This is on Bautista Agut's serve. So we're effectively back in the server. Okay, so it's a high pressure situation. But of course, when you enter these things, you always go in with a plan. I mean, we're going to lay him here. If he scores the next point and then turns it around and makes an advantage, then we can do something. But if he fails to win this point and Rindenech wins the game, then we can lay Rindenech again. Okay, and that looks like that's about to happen. Good. Yep. Very, very bad service game there from Rindenech. So you can see, look, the price has moved against us. We just laid at 1.28. It's now gone to 1.13. And you might think, well, that's it. We should just accept the loss and get out. Not quite. We can go in again. We laid with a £100 stake. Let's lay again Rindenech, use a £200 stake. Because usually, for a lot of players, when they've just broken serve, that service game after that is pretty high pressurized, especially if you're the underdog. And all we want is Bautista Agut to put some pressure on Rindenech's serve, swing the ticks back in our direction, and then we can look to at least remove some of this liability. So anyway, let's see if we can get out of this little hole that we just got in. And so, as you can see, as expected, bit of pressure on Kindenech's serve. It swung the odds in our favour up to 1.32. And so, as you can see, look, we went in with that £200 lay at 1.14, and now we're just going to back that at 1.32, and that's, well, it's erased all the liability on this trade. And now we're in a position where we still got that £100 of upside on Bautista Agut, which obviously we're looking for Bautista Agut to get back into it, and then maybe we can just green this up. But yeah, as it stands now, we're definitely not gonna take a loss on this trade. So let's see if Bautista Agut can score the break. Yeah, he has scored the break. Okay, so now we can just press that cash out and take our profit. So let me just lock that in, and then we can see we've made that profit, and we will have locked in around £36. And let me just try and show you the chart, just to give you an idea of exactly what happened there. Remember, we went in what I thought was a decent entry point, lay in Rindenech when it was advantage, but it wasn't to be. But you don't just give up and accept that loss. You actually take advantage of the inevitable volatility, and you can go in again. There's still a lot of time left in this match, okay? And obviously, as you can see, it did pay off. So yeah, good example there for you of not just accepting the loss, you know, taking advantage of the volatility to not just erase the loss, but actually give us a profit. So we've got this match from the women's side of things. Jacqueline Christian against Zheng. Zheng was the pretty strong favourite actually. Let me have a look. Yeah, around 1.25 started on this one, but has lost that first set comprehensively, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to lay Christian heading into the second set. We'll go in with a £100 stake to start with. Obviously, we can add to that position, but yeah, if Zheng starts this second set brightly, then you can get a pretty quick and easy swing of odds in your favour. But let's see what happens. Zheng's gonna serve, and then we'll see how it develops. So, not a great start at all. She's broken in her first service game of the second set. So, what we do though is we don't panic. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could take that £23 loss, but there's still so much time left. And remember, Zheng, very, very strong favourite. So we just need a little bit of a sign of life for those prices to swing back in our favour. So let's lay Christian again at 1.443. We got matched that. It shows that our overall exposure in the market is £119. But remember, you're not going to be risking all of that. Currently, we could exit for £27, and you want to maybe make your stop loss in this, possibly £50, £60, okay, if you wanted to, because the odds are going to move slowly down to 1.01 rather than just being a straight shoot down. So we're in control, and we just need to see if Zheng can get back into it and just show some signs of life, and that's all we need for those prices to swing back in our favor. So let's see what happens from here. So as you can see, we're in a 30-40 situation. So the price on Christian's gone back up to 1.6, as you can see there. Remember, we did the little mini trade laying at 1.43. It's now out to, say, 1.6. So you could look to kind of remove some liability right here, but you're going to get a bit of a bigger move if she makes the break back, which, judging by the markets, yep, looks like she's done, right? So now we can trade out that mini trade, okay? So let me just get that out of the market, because you have to act quick when you're trading tennis. See, look, I mean, that 1.77 never even got matched, so we've got to move it quick. It's not so easy to do these demonstrations and speak to you at the same time, because these prices are flying around, right? So anyway, finally that's been matched, 1.72. And so obviously, as you remember, at the start of the second set, we laid Christian 1.76. She broke serve first, went down to 1.43, where we laid her again for the little mini trade to remove some or lower our liability somewhat. Okay, so we've got our overall liability on the trade down to £47, and there's some green shoots, as you can say. I mean, we could lock in £10, but we're trying to aim for a bigger profit. The initial aim of the trade was that we wanted Zheng to break first in this second set and get ahead, which hasn't happened yet. But we've lowered our loss significantly with that little mini trade at least. Well, that just underlines the craziness of tennis trade, and Zheng was looking fully in control. We were I was about to press record and take the profit, and then she was like 40 love up on her serve. Managed to end up losing her serve again. So anyway, we go in again. We're going to lay Christian again at 1.39, see if we can kind of catch the repeating pattern. Now, yeah, if you can kind of look closely, you can see the price on Christian went all the way up to evens, and it was actually looking like a pretty nice profit we could have actually taken at that particular point. But anyway, it wasn't to be. Let's see what happens from here. We're going to lay Christian again, and we're going to look to see if Zheng can get back into it and then go from there. And so you can see it's just gone love 30 on Christian's serve. So that's often enough to just move the market, pretty significantly. Okay, so we gained around 20 ticks on that. So that little mini trade has somewhat lowered our liability again on this overall trade. Okay, so we're now down to a £25 exposure in this market. Okay, remember we entered this originally laying at, what was it, 1.76. So it was a £76 exposure in the market. But with these mini trades, we've got our exposure down to £25. And to be honest, if we're sensible, we shouldn't be losing money now on this trade. We're just going to see if Zheng can get back into it. Soonish would be good. And as you can see, there is a small profit, but we're really just trying to see if Zheng can at least level it, and then maybe we can just exit with our profit. But anyway, that's kind of the example there, is that when we get in these positions where it's going against us, your first thought should be, look, how can I start to get my liability a lot lower, and then trading from there. So anyway, let's see what happens. Let's see if Zheng can get back into it. Then we could definitely make a profit. Otherwise, this might well be a scratch trade, which will also be an interesting example for you guys. So anyway, here we are. Look, it is 5-4, and Christian's about to serve to win the match. So it's fair to say this trade hasn't worked out, has it? According to our plan, was that we wanted to lay Christian, start the second set. We wanted Zheng to get back in, well, to take the lead at least. And, well, we're really up against it now. So, anyway, we can take the scratch on this one. And as mentioned, I mean, this is effectively a losing trade, but we've got this all the way down to pretty much zero. Well, okay, a £2 loss. But anyway, this just it kind of shows you the opportunities that are there in tennis trading. If you stay on top of it, I mean, you get in the market, there's always something you can do to maybe lower your liability rather than kind of just sitting there like a rabbit in the headlights. And the markets, the prices can always move in your favor at some point. It's not like in football where they're going to be constantly moving against you and just getting worse with time if you're expecting a goal. So anyway, it's a fair example, and we're out with a scratch trade. So I still have more examples to come, but I just want to check to see if you are understanding this fully and whether this is something you would use or you do use yourself when you're trading tennis. Leave a comment to let me know. And also, if you've got any questions, if anything doesn't quite make sense and you need more detail, then also leave that in the comment section. Maybe we can follow up on that with a future video, or I can try and reply to explain further. Okay, I'll see you in the comment section, but let's dive right into the next example. So we're going to enter this trade laying Maria Barra, if that's how you pronounce it. £100 stake, so we're laying her here at 1.5. We got this profile. This is going to be a tight match. There should be multiple breaks of serve from both players. So we're basically going to lay Maria here at 1.5. We're going to look for Kukova to break back. Then we can get that swing in the odds and we can get out of the market. But of course, we're always going to have a plan B if the price moves against us any further. So anyway, let's see what happens. It's 2-0 right at the start of the match. Plenty of time to go. So Maria won that service game, and her price has gone down to 1.34. So, it's pretty much a 15-tick move against us when, I mean, fundamentally not much has changed. We were expecting her to win that service game. It's not like there's been another break of serve. So anyway, what we can do, and what you've seen me just do, we're going to go in again. We're going to lay her again at 1.35, and we're going to try and see if there's at least a little bit of a clawback on the price. You can see how the price is dipping. we're expecting this support point around here. So we could well go in with another lay, but hopefully it doesn't come to that. Hopefully we can start to take some profit out of this one with if Kukova wins her next service game. That should put the odds a bit more in our favor, and then we can go from there. But let's see what happens. It's currently 3-0. Obviously, to a lot of people, that looks really bad. But in tennis, well, anything can happen. So, bit of a disastrous start here for Maria Barra. She's just had her serve broken again. But anyway, the price has gone into 1.28 to lay, and we're going to go in once again. You might be thinking, whoa, what is going on? You're just you're almost chasing us. It's not quite the case. Now this is pretty much now hitting the support zone, so we know that we're going to exit at the end of the first half, regardless. And this price can't go to 1.01 in this first set. Okay, so it's pretty much gone as far as it's going to go. And now we're just going to look to see if Kukova can win a game or two, and then we can look to try and relieve some of the liability. Keep your eye on the cash out amount. That is currently a £32 loss. Don't look at the amount that is actually risk, because remember, that is not going to be fully at risk. Okay, anyway, let's see what happens. Yeah, we just need Kukova to get on the scoreboard, and then we can start to take some action. Okay, so Kuchova's finally got on the scoreboard. Okay, so remember, we laid Maria here at 1.5, 1.35 and 1.28. Okay, so let's try and get matched here at 1.35 to just start to try and ease off this liability and try and get the liability down as low as it is. Okay, we're already in a bad position as it is, so currently our priority is to probably look to minimize our potential loss before we can even think about maybe getting a profit, because we can still get a profit out of this situation. But we're going to put in that bet there, £100, 1.35, and then we're going to look to try and get matched at some higher odds if she can get the price up higher, and then we'll see where we stand. But maybe the recovery starting here. It's 1-4 in that first set. So Kukova's serving much better now. She's just won her service game, so the gap has been closed now to 4-2. And so look, we've now backed her at 1.35 and 1.47, £100 each. Now look at the cash out. You can start to see some green shoots. Okay, so we were in a bit of a hole, but now it's turned around just with the natural kind of volatility and ebb and flow of that first set. So you can see a bit of a recovery there, but we still want the original plan, right? We still want Kukova to kind of level it and get back even in this first set for us to take the profit that we're looking for. So obviously it's great. Look, we've managed to lower the liability somewhat in this trade, but now we should try to aim and take a decent profit from this. So anyway, let's see. Maria's serving right now. Let's see how this one goes. So now we're in a good situation here with it being 15.40 on Barra's serve. So the price has now gone up on Maria to 1.64, and yeah, that's been taken. So I mean, now all our liability has been removed from this trade, and there's 2 break points. So if she can convert one of them, then that should be it for the trade. But either way, we're probably in a good position to take profit at this particular moment. So let's see what happens here. This would be great if we get it in this one take. Okay, and she's got it. So there you see it. So the match has been, or the first set has been effectively leveled. It's now gone to 4-3. Kukova's about to serve. The markets are assuming she's going to win that service game, so they're effectively at 4-4. But anyway, hopefully this has been a good example for you guys to check out, because just the main thing I wanted to demonstrate is how dynamic you can be when you are trading tennis. You saw we went in with that original lay on Maria. We went in at 1.5. It went down to 1.28, and it kind of looked hopeless at that point. It was 4-0 to Maria, and a lot of people might think, well, that's it, I'm going to just take the loss at that particular point. But as we know, and we've referred to this in the other videos, that is going to be a support zone, and you may as well get in there and see if a recovery can happen from the favorite. Doesn't always happen, and you have to just take the loss on the chin. But usually in tennis, you do get a chance, and even if we only just got that initial swing that we got, remember it went up to like 1.35. Just even that is enough to lower your liability somewhat. But in this case, we got the whole thing, and we've walked out with a pretty decent profit from it all. Okay, so there you have it. We're back level in this first set. So I hope you enjoyed checking that out. You found it fun and educational to see some of the struggles that us traders have to go through when trades don't totally go to plan. And that will happen. Trades won't totally go to plan. And so you need to have a plan to handle that. And so I have included the risk mitigation method inside the Ultimate Tennis Trading course so you can get a clear step-by-step approach on it. YouTube videos are great to an extent, but if you want a clear picture of what to do, when to do it, etc., then that is what we have the program for. Okay, and as mentioned earlier, we will be closing the doors on this Friday, actually, at midnight, and that'll be closing the doors for the summer. If you are interested in getting in, then you need to click the link in the description to get hold of an invite. Depending when you do that, and if there are still spots left, you should get an email reply within 24 hours. Otherwise, we will add you onto the waiting list for the next opening. Remember, Ultimate Tennis Trading is everything you need to learn tennis trading in full. You will learn how to trade tennis even if you know nothing about tennis. That is actually who the course is aimed at. So the less you know about tennis, the better, actually. So you will learn how to do the pre-match research to pick out your own trades and to ideally pick out those matches which are going to have those big price swings. Okay, if we can pick those matches out, then that's half the job done. You're also going to learn how to read a tennis match. And like I said, even if you've never even watched tennis before, it's actually very, very simple. You get 3 low-risk strategies, 1 for each set, 2 advanced strategies as well. Okay, so as mentioned, the link is in the description. Depending when you're watching this video, the doors might be closed. Okay, so best thing to do is click the link, submit your email address, and if the doors are still open, you will get an email back within 24 hours. If not, you will just be added to the waiting list for the next opening. Okay, like I said, the doors will close at midnight on Friday. But anyway, you might have seen me during the video talk about support and resistance levels and how we can use that in tennis trading. And I actually did a more detailed video on exactly that very recently. So you should see it on the screen right now, and it's worth checking out. Go click on that video, go grab another nice cold beer, and I will see you in the next video.